all the new stuff. Click on this bell icon and make sure you never miss a video.
Hi everyone, I'm so excited to see many of you here today. I'm Brian, and I'm here to talk about the story behind the Oxygen OS today. So Oxygen OS has started its journey with the OnePlus 2, and back then we had built a reputation for combining the best hardware with the best software. When we made the OnePlus 1, we didn't have a big software team. So we have to give thanks to Android open source project. Although we know Google has a commercial reason for supporting the Android, and it doesn't change the fact that we wouldn't be here without it. So instead, we ran CyanogenMod, mode, and it's a really popular Android build made by the open source community. So without open source and CyanogenMod, mode, we wouldn't have gotten to where we are here today. So we are happy to Steve Kondik. Can you light up? Yeah, we are happy Steve Kondik, the founder of CyanogenMod, mode, is here today. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah, we do appreciate it. So thank you for supporting us and for being a part of our story. Thank you very much. So with the Oxygen OS, we don't want to emulate the stock. So of course, each of you might have the different definition about what pure Android is. But one thing is that today, even Google's own device runs modified version of the Android. So we just wanted to add improvement and a meaningful addition to the Android. Again, we are not trying to stay true. We are trying to stay true to the core principles of the Android. We are not trying to be identical to Android. That is what we are doing here. So it's an Android refined. And then inside the company, we call it Android Plus, just like the name of our company. It has the meaning. So you are the one in OnePlus, and we aim to add value to your life. And that's what the Plus stands for. So we identified the 4 fundamentals of which defines the pure Android. This is our understanding why people like the pure Android. Because of the user interaction, it's very intuitive. And the second will be there's no bloatware. And the third one is the fast performance. It's very speedy. And the first is the power efficiency. So we set out to refine the experience by focusing on the 4 key pillars that define Oxygen OS as an operating system. The first one will be the reliability and efficiency and speed. The last one is the user feedback. So every feature we develop stays true to the pillars of Oxygen OS: reliable, efficient, fast, and user-driven. So this is one example that the feature developed in response to users' feedback, which is we gave the option to users that which is automatically rearrange the icons on the home screen with just one click. We are proud to have some of the members of our beta program with us today. Please light up, and please. They are contributing to making your experience even better and better. So they help us to release the 43 open beta builds starting August 2016. Since then, these builds have been shared over 15,000 open beta testers. It's getting bigger and bigger now. How our beta users help improve our software is the new booting animation. Probably if you're in the open beta program, then you might saw this before. Instead, we've whipped up this video to give you guys a better ideas of how our process works. Let's take a look.
We never wanted to create just a phone. That was just the starting point. We wanted to create a phone that got better and better and better with every update. And the only way to do that was to listen. So if someone said something about an issue with their screen, we knew what to solve. And when people started realizing we were actually listening, this whole community formed. Some people told us how annoying low-light selfies can be. So we turned the screen into a makeshift flash and added professional settings to make the camera way better. We heard people wanted to shoot more stable high-res videos. So we developed this software to greatly reduce shake. We're huge gamers, and we knew how annoying getting alerts can be. So we gave people a way to turn them off. We were never driven by a big research department. We're driven by these people who are our biggest fans and our biggest critics. So we try to do everything we can to surprise and impress them. Then we send it out into the world and do it all again.
So have you ever gotten that random text message in the middle of the game? I did a lot. So like accidentally, I tapped the notification, I jumped to another application, and then when I got back, I really lost the game. Yeah, it's a terrible experience losing a game because of an unexpected interruption. So that's what gaming D&D does. It blocks notification while you're gaming to make sure you don't lose your edge when it counts. And do you have more than one Skype account or other social media accounts? It's pretty common to have the needs for 2 Skype accounts, one for the business, another one is for my family or friends. So our parallel application features gives you ability to create a so-called shadow version of your social media app. Yeah. Now we are currently hard at work on a new application that will make the process of switching to a new device way more easier. So we call it OnePlus Switch. With the OnePlus Switch app, you will be able to transfer all of your files to your new OnePlus device with a single simple process. A lot of our users, they used to use iPhone before. So since a lot of you are joining our family, we wanted to make the transition a little easier. So OnePlus Switch is also going to be compatible with the iPhone. So this is the way how we welcome you to join OnePlus. This month, OnePlus 5 users around the world will be able to try out Android Oreo in open beta. You can download this from our forum. Android Oreo will come to OnePlus 5 in early 2018.
What's up, New York? In a month, we'll be celebrating our 4th anniversary, but it feels way longer than that because so many things have happened. So let's go back to how it all started. We were a group of product people, engineers, and marketers all working in the smartphone industry, and all had ideas on how things could have been done better. But I don't think any of us thought about actually doing something ourselves because creating a smartphone brand seemed like such a difficult thing to do. But back in 2013, the smartphone industry was not in a good place. It felt like Android brands competed on who could have the most features, but they didn't really care about design or user experience. So that's why we were all using iPhones. And we realized what a great opportunity we had here. What if we could combine the openness of Android with Apple's focus on design, polish, and user experience? I mean, there must be Android users out there who also care about these things, right? So in December that year, we announced our ideas to the world without even having a product. We also announced our tagline, "Never settle." And to our surprise, a lot of people seemed to agree with us. They signed up to our community, they talked to us, and they supported us. Of course, there were also the skeptics who felt like we talked a really big talk and we couldn't actually deliver. We had no idea on how many would actually buy our product, so to control risk, we only made 1,000 phones in our first batch. And because we hadn't tested the phone globally, we didn't want to roll it out too quickly. So we created an invite system. You had to be invited by a friend to be able to buy our phones. And because we wanted our very first users to be the most loyal, we had a program where you had to sign up to smash your phone and upload a video to YouTube to be eligible to be selected as one of the first 100 people to try our first product, the OnePlus One. It was kind of designed like a religious ritual, where you had to make a sacrifice to be able to join our movement. But in a week, 140,000 people actually signed up. And when signups were over, we surprised people by telling them that instead of smashing their phones, they could actually donate them to charity. But we didn't tell them until after the sign-up because we wanted to test their commitment. Nevertheless, many people still insisted on smashing their phones anyway. So if you search OnePlus Smash the Past on YouTube, you'll still find plenty of videos of people smashing their phones. So here's a sample of them.
This is the homemade potato gun I will be using to shoot the Galaxy S5. So we have potato all over the back cover. We've got potato all over the screen.
Our first product became wildly popular. People were selling invites on eBay for as much as $400 in the beginning. And to be clear, they weren't selling the phone. They were selling the right to be able to buy them. It got to a point where we were like, hey, let's not let these assholes make money. Let's sell the invites ourselves and donate the money to charity instead. So we worked together with eBay and the UNICEF TAP project on selling invites for the OnePlus 2. And we had originally projected to sell 30 to 50,000 phones in year one, but we ended with almost 1 million, and that's really a lot for a new brand. It also made us feel like we were already successful, that the hard work had paid off, and that we'd proven the skeptics wrong. In fact, we became so confident in ourselves that we started to ignore the feedback from our community because we thought that we had already satisfied them, and now we had to move on to a more mainstream audience. So with the OnePlus 2, we decided to remove NFC, despite our users asking for it. And on top of that, we decided to use the Snapdragon 810 processor. Early on, we knew that the thermal performance of the 810 wasn't very good, but with our newly gained cockiness from our successes in our first year, we were confident in our abilities to handle the 810 processor through software. In the end, we couldn't build a good performance profile on the OnePlus 2 where speed and temperatures were balanced. Either it became too laggy or too hot. And in the end, the product wasn't received well. With the OnePlus 1 and OnePlus 2 being flagship phones, we felt the need to enter the mid-range segment so more people would have access to our products. So we made the OnePlus X, and it was a great product, but it moved us further away from our community. Recently, we asked one of our users whether they liked the OnePlus X, and they said yes. And then we asked them whether they'd buy it, and they said no. It turns out that our users chose OnePlus because we made high-end flagships, not anything else. So the results of 2015 weren't very great. It seemed like whatever we said or did was wrong, and we attracted a lot of criticism during this year. So as a result, we stopped communicating with our community because we lost confidence in ourselves. But there's a silver lining to this story. We learned the lesson of humility. We were lucky to have come out of this year alive. We no longer thought that highly of ourselves and began listening to feedback from our community again. In 2016, we went back to the drawing board. We focused on flagship phones, fast performance, and quality software. We reconnected with our community again and started asking them for suggestions while using their input to improve our product. And that was what Brian was talking about earlier. This led to the creation of the OnePlus 3 and the 3T, products rated by consumers and the press as two of the best phones of that year. So after 2016, OnePlus was back for real. And earlier this year, we released the OnePlus 5. It represented everything that we'd learned and was our most complete phone ever. It's been received positively by both the users and the media. And here are some comments from our users. And here are some comments from the media. So we talked a lot about our history, but now it's time to bring it back into the present. I know a lot of you are excited about a particular announcement that we're making today. We don't believe in new and different technologies if they don't provide a meaningful user benefit. When we make a product decision, we ask ourselves, would this technology enable us to release a superior product? If the answer is yes, we should do it as soon as possible. Like software, hardware is always changing. If you had a great software update, you wouldn't wait half a year just to release it. So why would you wait with hardware? It's about delivering the latest technology today. And this is our approach with the T line. But what does T actually mean? To be honest, our team just had a little bit of fun. There's a certain other company that has an S line, and S plus 1 equals T. And hey, we're OnePlus, right? So without further ado, this is the OnePlus 5T.
Hi, everyone. My name is Simon, and as one of product managers at OnePlus, I was involved in development of OnePlus 5T. The closest comparison I can think of is switching from a tube TV to a wide, flat screen. That moment deeply changed the way we look at our television, and it's the same with our new full optic AMOLED display. Many of our users were a little bit concerned whether the 5.5 inches display is not too big to handle. And now we are releasing a phone with 6 inches display, and probably many of you have the same concern. But the OnePlus 5T screen is 12.5% larger than the one you can find on OnePlus 5, but the form factor of the device remains the same, so it's no larger than OnePlus 5. But since the OnePlus 2, we've always had fingerprint scanner on the front, as this is a very natural place for thumb, especially when the phone is face up on a table. So actually having to move it to the back sucked, but sometimes you have no choice but to compromise. Except we didn't, because we always had double tap to wake. I'm sure you guys are not sure what I'm talking about, but let me show you. And the phone is unlocked. And I suppose you have not seen what just happened. Focus on this little smiley. This is our new feature, which we call Face Unlock. With the Face Unlock, you can unlock your phone in just 0.4 seconds. You can use your Face Unlock to unlock your device, but it won't work with apps that require sensitive information like payment apps. For those, you can rely on our speedy fingerprint scanner. And of course, there's something else we need to talk about. Yeah. By your reaction, I can understand that many of you guys still use headphones with 3.5mm jack, right? The OnePlus 5T uses the same main camera as we all loved on OnePlus 5, but the second sensor is improved and now features the focal of 1.7. When ambient light drops to about 10 lux, the OnePlus 5T switches to a secondary rear lens, which combines 4 pixels into one to capture more light and improve the clarity of the photos. Stability is key to record smooth videos, so we knew we got to get EIS right on OnePlus 5. We made you guys wait a little, but we had to make sure our EIS feature is one of the best in the industry. A lot of you share very specific feedback on how to improve our stability feature, which we use to push EIS 4K out in the best possible shape, majorly improving the stability of our high-resolution shots on the OnePlus 5P. Let's take a moment to cover 4 aspects that we focus on to improve OnePlus 5T's fast performance. Its processing power, memory, uploading, and charging. Last but never least, there's Dash Charge. Our custom fast charging solution makes sure you never have to wait long for your phone to recharge. So first off, you've got your new 18:9 full optic AMOLED display. It delivers the most immersive experience ever on a OnePlus smartphone without compromising on size or weight. Next up is our improved 16 plus 20 megapixel dual camera to help you shoot clearer portraits and low light shots. Oxygen OS is receiving a whole bunch of exciting features like parallel apps and face unlock. And finally, We enhance performance through a combination of best hardware available and carefully optimized software.
Let's talk about the one thing you all want to know, the price. But enough with the rumors. The OnePlus 5T starts at $499 US. And here's the pricing for other currencies and capacities. Sales of the OnePlus 5T starts November 21st in North America, Europe, and India. And we're celebrating the launch of the OnePlus 5T with a number of special accessory offers and bundles. Some are only valid on launch day, so check them out on oneplus.net on November 21st. And OnePlus has been the #1 selling device 14 out of the last 15 months. The only 1 month where we were not #1 was when the iPhone 7 launched.